Alrighty, welcome to season 7 and the very first Lightning Strikes Twice of season 7. I uh, I will introduce how we do this just in case you're joining us for the very first time, coincidentally on the first episode of season 7. Um, we do one topic apiece, 5 minutes to discuss. The other person has no clue what the one before him is bringing up. And that's why it's a lightning strikes twice. So, Eric, you have the first topic.
Okay, well, mine is definitely I would classify it as tomfoolery, and I think it's something both of us will have some feelings about, and that is Filmation Ghostbusters or the real Ghostbusters.
Aha. I was always partial to Filmation with Jake and Eddie and Tracy the gorilla.
Yep.
Like I was actually like telling my wife about that a couple weeks ago. So we watched one of the newer Ghostbusters movies, and I was like, oh, you know what? There was this cartoon, and it was like based on the original Ghostbusters, like from the
which
70s.
Was a live action show back in like
and
the 70s, I think, right?
Yeah, and then the popular 80s movie came out and had to go to them for the rights to the name. Got the rights to the name, and then they were like, oh, this is getting popular, let's do a cartoon. So they put one out called Ghostbusters, and then the movie people were like, oh, we'll do a cartoon and call it the real
yeah. I liked both of them. I thought actually, I mean, I have a real soft spot for the Filmation Ghostbusters. It's very charming. I think the original intent was to be kind of educational. And with the first few episodes it kind of was, but then it turned into like a lot of slapstick goofiness and stuff. But it was still pretty good. Primeval is fun. As the big bad guy, but the real Ghostbusters, of course, is based on the movie from, I think it's 84, and that was actually a pretty good show too. In fact, a couple episodes were like actually genuinely scary. Like,
yeah, actually,
they were like kind of hardcore in a way.
Yeah, that was definitely like a good cartoon. It was just like it was a little, I don't know, kind of an asshole move to be like, we're the real one when they came second, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Yep. I know.
But, and what so the 84 movie comes out first, then the cartoon, right? So
yeah,
why all of a sudden does Egon go from having like super dark hair to like bleach blonde hair
with that like weird curl that was like this tube that was so weird. I mean, at least Winston was in it, unlike all the video games. Well, most of the video game releases, like there's like, there were 3 Ghostbusters for in a lot of the video games, like the Atari one, I think the NES one.
Oh wow.
And maybe it was
shitting me.
Yeah, seriously,
they whitewashed the Ghostbusters game,
and it could have been some kind of technical limitation in that, like having that many characters might have been too much. I think like the Commodore version might have had all 4 of us. But that was kind of weird.
To remember playing Winston.
Yeah, I think it was the Genesis version had all 4. And maybe the Super Nintendo one, I think. So maybe that's why I feel like maybe it was a technical limitation. And then again, it's like, well, they were like in the Atari version, they were just a couple pixels representing the characters.
The Sega version, they're all like, you only have 3 buttons, A, B, and C. So we had to jettison one of the Ghostbusters. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I think, there's room in my soul for both, like the Filmation Ghostbusters and the cinema Ghostbusters, because I think they're both really cool, and the cartoons were both pretty awesome and very different, very, very different. you know, the cool thing, what I loved is the music was great. The animation for Filmation was probably some of their best, uh,
Mhm.
compared to He-Man and She-Ra and stuff. Like the Ghostbusters animation was amazing. You know, when they did the "Let's go Ghostbusters" and like they do the scene where they, you know, have to uh, go through that weird apparatus that changes their clothing and drops them down into the buggy, and the
Yep.
buggy, of course, is alive. um like, it's cool. It's a really fun show.
You know, it would be super cool, and I I think the Ghostbusters franchise is chill enough to do this, so they should actually bring that into the next movie.
Yeah.
Like the rival Ghostbusters crew from New Jersey or
Oh,
something,
dude,
and it's
that would be
Jake and Eddie.
awesome. That would be so awesome. Oh, that's time. But like, actually, with all the live action remakes, they there should be a live action remake of the Filmation Ghostbusters. Like,
Yeah,
go back to the TV show from back in the day that was the genesis of the cartoon,
which
and
we
make
should
a movie.
mention was their parents actually, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Their
because
fathers were the in
mhm,
the '70s
yep,
one, and in the '80s it was that they were the
they were the
picking
kids.
up the mantle basically.
Exactly. Actually, it was really well done. Yeah, the
Yeah.
pilot episodes. I think it was like, you know, a few episodes that kind of was the pilot. Um, yeah, it was the actual cast from, well, the characters from the original show teaching their kids how to be Ghostbusters, and, you know, showing them the ropes, which
that's that's awesome.
mhm. Yeah, such a good show. Oh man. Well, hopefully that encourages people to check that out. The Filmation Ghostbusters series. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Um, and Filmation too, in general, is just awesome. Like the cool kinds of shows that, I mean, obviously He-Man and She-Ra, of course, were their productions too.
And that iconic like like
Yep. Oh
you knew
yeah.
something epic was coming.
I know it's a it's a nostalgic sort of feeling when you see that. Oh man.
I
Mm.
may have watched some He-Man last
Hmm.
week.
Well, and Shuki Levy, of course, the composer and musician behind like most of the 80s music for cartoons. Yeah, he was involved in a lot of that too.
Yeah.
That's why it's so damn awesome. Like, all of the awesome theme songs that you remember from your childhood, Shuki Levy was the guy.
The voice of He-Man recently passed away.
Mm,
That sucks.
yeah, I know. God.
Well, I guess we should get on to the next topic though.
Yep.
I also have a little verses round here.
Hmm.
So which is your favorite Genesis singer, Peter Gabriel or Phil Collins?
Oh, damn, that's a tough one. I mean, I love Peter Gabriel a,
Mm-hmm.
a lot. I mean, you know, like some of the his own side project stuff that he did was incredible. Um, I mean, In Your Eyes is probably my favorite. Um, it- but Phil Collins is pretty awesome too. I don't know. It's like trying to pick a favorite kid. You know, like I don't think I can. They're both good, but for different reasons.
Mm.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm similarly torn. Um, for me, like I think like a lot of the quality, like roundedness of the band was in the Peter Gabriel era. I mean,
Mhm.
it's hard to say Peter Gabriel era because Phil Collins was also in the band.
Yeah, yeah.
He was just not singing yet.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, he's a fantastic drummer, by the way.
yeah,
Like,
well, and
holy
then
shit.
that's the thing I admire most about Phil Collins is like being a drummer and a singer.
Hmm.
That's not something you see commonly,
Hmm.
um, especially like playing drums while singing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like everybody knows that. Oh,
and can I just say, like, for how iconic that drum part is, it's not that special.
no,
Like,
no, but
just some toms, like,
I, yeah, but it's Phil Collins.
oh, and toms that have been like compressed like crazy. So like
Well, and was it Genesis that actually created the gated reverb effect for drums? I think it was, which became the 80s sound for drums,
hmm.
gated reverb. Like it, I think I kind of feel like it was a Genesis project or product, I guess. Um,
They could have been the genesis of that,
yeah,
possibly.
yeah. Hmm.
So
It-
that's like the effect where like the drum sound hits and there's a little echo and then
and it
it's
cuts.
like
Yep,
yeah.
yep. Yeah, so you have
Uh,
you have a gate and a reverb, and the gate cuts it off when it crosses a certain threshold. So
mhm.
it kind of has like a lot of punch and it, but it's encapsulated. I'm pretty sure that was a Phil Collins thing, and I think it was accidental. In fact, it was just like fidgeting around with things, and then that became the '80s sound for drum. It's kind of crazy.
Well, the other thing is both singers had like really good solo
Yeah.
efforts too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Absolutely.
Peter Gabriel had some huge hits
Oh yeah.
on solo, um, and kind of weird songs too, but they were still
Shock the
really good.
Monkey.
Shock the Monkey, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
But yeah, there were some great songs from both of them. And
mm,
that's what I was saying. Like they kind of have their own sort of style, which are they're distinctive, but I guess I say they're equivalent in a way,
yeah.
as far as quality. Um, so I don't know if I could pick one above the other.
It wasn't Genesis like kind of a Christian band in a way?
Yes,
Like,
yes, it started off as a Christian band, yeah,
and then they kind of moved away from that.
yeah, and they definitely became not a Christian band after that.
Yeah. So that's one thing I do remember is seeing some old Genesis records at my from my parents' collection as a
Mhm.
kid and noticing that they're, like, I mean, the name Genesis, of course, comes from the Bible and stuff,
Yeah,
but like, I just thought like, oh, it's a Christian band, but then like they were all super popular, and after a while, like, I got the gist that they weren't really Christian anymore, or
well, yeah, it's sort of like they started off kind of folk, I think, back in like the '70s, just like a lot of Christian bands were in the '70s, kind of folky, and and then like the '80s happened, and they got a hold of like synthesizers and
yeah,
stuff, and it just went from there. What's the other band that I'm thinking of? Starship. Ah, Starship. Like if you listen to old like Jefferson Starship stuff
yeah,
compared to Starship or Jefferson Airplane,
Jefferson Airplane
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's how they started off, and they transmogrified into Starship.
we
Uh,
should do that with our band name, just like change it every 10 years,
make it more
slightly
technologically
different.
advanced. Just stars that are further out. Oh man, yeah, that's good. That man, whew. Anything music. God, I love it.
Yeah.
I love music history too. Like the story of how a band came to be, or how a particular person became a part of a band, or how they what band they were a part of before they did their solo stuff. Um,
Yeah.
that's great. Whew.
It gives me an idea for an episode.
Hey, all right, nice. Hey. Okay, well, that was the first video of season 7. 7 whole years. Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. Hmm. Okay, well, thanks for watching, everybody. And if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe do that and leave a like and a comment. Uh, let us know what you think, um, or share your thoughts on either of these topics. I don't know; these are very controversial, necessarily, but I'm sure people have opinions about it. So hey, leave a comment down there. It helps the algorithm. So yeah, all right. Well, we'll keep on trucking, and see you next time.
Keep on fucking.